Korea. Kora Ashetu. Kora Bayaba.
Yeah, that's serious. So among all the songs in Northern Ghana,
it's the only thing that came to mind,
honestly. A warm welcome to Tamale show, and by extension, anything happening in the northern region. And today, again, as a great woman, it's like I've been hosting only women on this podcast. I'm here to venture or bring on board men. Let's see what they have for us. And somebody so special in one way or the other, because she is married to one of the famous man you can think of the movement, even if not for the movement, but currently in Northern Ghana. Somebody we hail in high esteem is who I have, and I hope you've heard about the indigenous food with Chef Dee. That is what we'll be talking about today. So I'll do her the honor to introduce herself to us, since she'll be able to introduce herself better, and then we can look at what we have for you on today's podcast. So stay glued to your seat and keep viewing this space for more. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
You are very pretty as well.
So now we know why it is you.
Can we make this about me? Let me have my moments. Let's not make it about my husband, please.
I said now we know why. I didn't say anything. I just said we know why. That's all.
I already heard you giving people hints and all of that.
That's fine. Okay, so if you could introduce yourself to us.
Okay, I am Khadija Yusuf Idi, and I am a chef. He's very, very passionate about indigenous food and also revitalizing the Asian traditions of our regions. And as a result of that, I've been doing quite an extensive research on the food systems of our indigenous people, not just specifically to Dagbang, but then I also take the pain of finding more about other people's food systems, looking at, say, the topography and climate and how that has influenced our indigenous foods and the relationship our forebears had with the land, and also how their food, their tradition and everything, how like food was more of their identity. Yes, and as a result of that, it's something I've always had in mind. I always wanted to have a conversation. I just didn't want to keep it to myself because, like I said, I'm doing research, and if I'm researching to find answers to these things, I could involve people, not just doing it on my own. I could do it more of an event where I get people to randomly come out and share their ideas. For all you know, someone somewhere has so much knowledge about maybe whatever we are looking for, and it was passed down from generations to generations to generations. But the person probably has never had an opportunity to share it with others, and it keeps passing down to their lineage. So yeah. Basically, that's what I do in summary. I don't know if I summarize that.
You know, right? It's really lengthy. In here, it's a box, and I have surprise tasks for you.
Okay.
You have 2 tasks to perform. Let's see what you have in there and how you perform your tasks.
Okay.
If you be able to deliver, or you disappoint our viewers.
Let's see. Hopefully, I don't. Oh, interesting.
What do we have?
It says, with word of mouth, prepare an indigenous food. Okay.
Let's say that I relax and watch.
Okay, I'm not supposed to mention the food, right?
You can, at least for us to know what you are preparing.
Okay, so how about I turn the game around. I describe it and you tell me what it is.
Okay, today the end. Sure, let's go.
Okay, so this indigenous food is very common to the natives of a northern region of Tamale. That's the Dagbang, the Moli Dagombes, and the Gunjas as well. And it's the indigenes used bambara beans in making this, and the bambara beans is being pounded, right? And It's been the flour of the bambaran beans. It's added with some alkaline, and it's molded in either leaves or papers. Then no, more of leaves, not papers. It's molded in leaves, and it's prepared under steam. And it's very much enjoyed with sesame seeds and the residue of granuts, or the residue of granite paste, right? And it's also topped with some either shea oil with caramelized onions or onions. Yeah, that's how it's enjoyed. What food is this?
If I didn't get this right, then I'm not even from Upper East. Tubani.
Wasn't that easy? I was very good with my description.
No, you were good with your description. But for learning purposes, at least I've learned certain things from you, like the alkaline, residues of blah, blah. So for me, it's always a learning opportunity. But I could guess right when he said it's molded in leaves most times. But some even go far of using just, I don't know how to call it, but the polythene bags we use for cheeses. Some wrap it in it based on who is doing it.
It's not so hygienic.
Yes,
and also the plastics is not good for our system. So basically that's why I'm having this event on the 2nd of March, because modernization has catch up so much with us that we tend to ignore what we have, and we are just hopping on the trends. Plastics like this, it's not safe for tubani because it's prepared under steam. So once you put it in plastics, we are going to boil the plastic
steaming it
together with the food, and the plastics are made of chemicals, and you wouldn't want so much chemicals in your system. So why don't we go back to using the leaves and not just cooking it with water, but then steaming it with the bark of some trees and herbs and all of that. All of that contributes to having a healthy diet.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the inspiration behind Indigenous Foods with Chef Dee?
Okay, so for me, I think the inspiration started when I decided to go to a culinary school. So I've always loved the idea of cooking. As a child who was born in a compound house inside one of the slums in Tamale here. And I really miss that socialization as a child, where you are all in a compound and it's not just your mother giving you the training. You get training from every woman in the compound. Yes. So sometimes maybe your mom could ask me, come and help me stir teasets. My mother is not there most of the time, probably to teach me how to stir teasets. So you see, you get to learn from different walks of life, and they have like different tenants from different backgrounds with completely different food system and all of that.
Sometimes they even make it more fun, where they tell you today we are doing this, and everybody's excited to see what is it, and to taste what it looks like.
So you see, you'd have a palette of a variety, like a palette of meals to pick from. You learn and you so for me, that has always been in me. It's been like inherent in me. I always loved the idea of cooking and all of that. But then after my second degree, I decided to just go to a culinary school and learn certain things for myself, because even before the culinary school, I always loved the idea of picking one or two ingredients that are not very common and making something out of it. Probably I could pick the back of orange and mix it with fried rice and make something out of it. So I always thought I should go and learn how to make desserts and pastries on the side. So I took a year course in pastries and desserts, and throughout this period, you know how a culinary school, they would always hail the French cuisine as the standard of food and all of that. And it didn't make sense to me because, okay, I think West Africa, we have way better cuisine than maybe the French would have, because we have a variety and we have very limited, and we make the most out of it, right? But then the French cuisine, it's more of like the patisserie and all of that, like the pastries and desserts and all of that. And you wouldn't get them teaching you like African cuisine. It's either Italian, the Spain, the Greece, like the Asian, but then nothing West African. And that was where like the inspiration really started coming from. Like my attention started coming to this more, because I mean, West Africa has so much to do. Even the region in which I come from, the northern part of Ghana, like this, has a diverse array of food. Why are we not selling it enough to the world? Right, because the French, probably the Europeans, they've sold their food so much to an extent that like we are seeing it and we are sort of hailing them at like the best of what they do and all of that. But then we have the best of what we have here, and it's also very healthy. And aside that, like I said, modernization and industrialization is really like taking over every part of the European or the Western regions. Right, time to come, people are going to really starve, because everything now, it's like on industrialization, modernization. No one is going back to the indigenous people. No one is trying to like pass down what we have, what is like inherent to us and all of that. Nobody is really taking the pain to do that. And time to come, even the Western would want to depend on Africa here for food. Because we are still in a way connected to our land than they are. Last, I came across some article I was reading, and a lot of people in the Western world don't even know you can like take a plant from a tree and consume it immediately, because they are very used to getting processed food, canned food, and even if it's like whatsoever it is, it's processed. They get it from the supermarket, they take it and that ends
the natural form.
No, they don't. And so they don't even know, say, if you have a mango, you can just plug it, wash it, and eat it.
Okay.
They think like you have to take it, you have to go through some processes and all of that before it's like, yes, it's consumable. Right. And so if even we are supposed to probably save the world in the next 2 decades or 3 decades, we are disconnecting to our roots and all of that.
Okay, so
where is it taking us?
From where I sit, I would say we won't starve because we have people like you who are sending a reminder to us that we need to connect to our roots, because there's a lot of dependence, not even the years to come, but even now. First, how we used to see some of these indigenous foods, we don't see them again lately. Even with fruits and others, we don't see them. And when we see them, it's either it's expensive or something we cannot buy and all that. So making it a bit difficult for people to even appreciate those local foods and all that. So I say again that we wouldn't starve, because we want you to keep sending the reminder. It's not just going to be once. I'm sure we'll get to that point where we'll know if there are other projects you did love to come with apart from Indigenous Food with Chef Dee. But before that, let's look at your next task.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Willy. Today Chef Dee Day. I said I saw this coming, but you didn't believe me. You didn't. Like you didn't.
No, it's not fair. I thought I had to pick one, and
It's just your tax. Today, this studio is yours. You own it.
But here's the case. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to dance. What happens?
Hey, Khadija, then I will play Pansiganam. If I can make sure I can for you to dance.
Okay, Korea.
You're not serious. So among all the songs in Northern Ghana,
it's the only thing that came to mind, honestly, because it's the only thing I can really connect with, like we growing up, how we used to play with it and all of that.
And that is also indigenous. At least you've done one. So it's not only food. You can actually sing.
Okay.
Yes, so is this Saturday, 2nd of March,
2nd of March,
where we anticipate a whole lot. What would you tell my viewers to anticipate from the Indigenous Food with Chef Dee?
Okay, so the Indigenous Food with Chef Dee is going to be an intergenerational conversation on the indigenous food system of Dagbang, that's the northern region. Okay. So in light of this, we'll be inviting 2 people from, let me say, from the past generation. They are old enough and they have so much experience in the food system. Okay. And also would be inviting 2 people from our generation.
Current generation.
Yes. Okay. And we talk about the food system then, the food system now, and trying to find innovative ways.
Connection.
Yes, and a connection between these 2 generations. In that you and people from the past generation can still enjoy a plate of food without like having so much difficulties in it. So basically it's going to look at we reconnecting to our roots and also finding innovative ways to keep to that connect, and also how better we could also socialize the generations to come, not to give up on their roots and food system and all of that, because like it's healthy, and also the drift is also causing so much to our climate. Currently, you see how hot it is. It's really hot,
very hot,
very, very hot, and all of this is like because we are disconnected to our land. So we have this habit of cutting down trees. We don't even care about our soil depleting and all of that. Yeah. So you know the average shea tree would take 24 years to mature.
It takes a lot of time.
Yes, 24 years for an average tree to mature.
And it's the same tree that gives the best of charcoal. So people did prefer to use them for charcoal. It shouldn't be so. Yeah, because like you can even plant a shea tree right now and die before it matures.
Yeah. Right. So people have really that belief you can't grow a shea tree. You can, but just that you wouldn't have the patience to wait for it to grow. Yeah. So all of this.
You've made mention that we have 4 guests, 2 in the past generation and 2 in the current generation. I have seen the flyer, and I think I'm familiar with the 2 current, Chef Faila and then
GAIDA.
Yes, of he has this
Diva Farms.
Yes. So if you could just share with us, who are we seeing on that day?
Okay, so we have GAIDA, who is the founder of Diva Farms. She's doing an incredible work. You know, she was a teacher, but she quit her job. Yes, to focus on farming. And she's doing organic farming, and she's really doing an incredible work. Yes, she's trying to do the traditional farming system, and she's still making very good yields. And as also, not just that, she's also educating other farmers with like best practices that would help nurture their produce. And we also have our executive Chef Faila, who is also very much interested in the food system. She's been in it for years now, and we would have her to also come and share her experience.
Are you sure she'll be there? Because it's like currently she's out of the country.
She would.
She'll be there.
She would. She's very much aware of this.
We don't want it to be like we've seen pictures and we'll come.
No. You would have her.
You will have her.
All right, sure. And we also have Auntie Fati. She's also an executive chef, but she's worked in the diaspora. Yes. She's the owner of Sugar and Spice. I don't know if you've heard of.
I've heard
that.
I think
space.
That's what I'm familiar with.
Yeah. So she's the owner of that, and you know, she also has so much experience because her mother is Yoruba, the father is a Dagomba, and she grew up most of her life in Europe. So still growing up in Europe and all of that, giving birth to all her children and all of that in like the Western countries or the Western belt. She never like disconnected with her roots. And now she's back. She has a cafe shop that she serves indigenous, like a fusion of indigenous and continental dishes. So she'd also be there to give us a good show. And we also have an educational person, a Dagbang tutor, who would also come in. You know, these people are very much knowledgeable in the histories and all of that. So we would have them, and we also have other people who wouldn't be guest speakers, but then would also be part of the audience, who would also share their experiences and all of that. It's not just limited, the conversation is not just limited to the guest speakers. Everybody is supposed to contribute. Yes, because we would even have breakout sessions. Where in groups you can have your discussion, share your thoughts and everything,
your knowledge about which indigenous food and where you've heard the story. And that will take me to me finding out from you, what is the goal of the indigenous food with Chef Dee?
So the goal of the indigenous food with Chef Dee is to sensitize the generation to come. The goal is just to sensitize people to reconnect with their land and their roots. So that's just the goal. Yeah, because once we get back to our roots, a lot of correction to be done. It will save the planet a lot.
So now let me do this. Just are you cooking the food, or we have people who will be doing the cooking, and then we have another activity or something for ourselves?
Oh yeah, so we'll be giving snacks and also some drinks, some native drinks, and also we'll be making some food and duduhugu. Amina duduhugu. I don't know if you've heard of the Duduhugu experience. Yes, she's also very much into this indigenous food
system. She has been existing for so long. I think before you came, I was just engaging with my boss. She has been doing so well.
Yeah, she's doing incredibly well. She's really portraying what needs to be portrayed. So she, together with Amina, who is the founder of Cake O'Clock, she's also into bakery and food, and also like a food scientist. So they would be in charge of the food because I don't know, I don't want to be all over the place. So they would be in charge of
that. It's a shared responsibility.
Yes, it's a shared responsibility.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and we also have like other goodies. Yeah, I wouldn't disclose that all, but just come.
Kadi, just for myself. Nobody's listening, nobody's watching. No. Khadija, you're not good. You betrayed me.
I'm sorry, love.
So for me, I think it's exciting and it's going to be a lot of work. Though you've started for a while, because I've been seeing the fly not today, but because it's fast approaching, like it's everywhere. And I'll say kudos to your team that is supporting in regards to making it public and then also letting people appreciate what we want to do. Are there any sponsors or people working to make this a success for you?
Yes.
Okay.
People are really working to make this a success for me. And one person I would really say it's doing an incredible work, or two people. Let me just say the entire team. So Prince Hamdan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, the one who covered the cook. I know.
Yes, you know him very well. Yes, when I first started this, and I thought, okay, it's an individual thing I wanted to do, but then when I keep like getting into it, the more I get into it, the more like I see a bigger picture out of this,
and bigger ideas
come, and it was overwhelming for me. So I decided to involve him, and also I don't know, this person doesn't really like to be in the face of public, but then it's the person, I don't know if you know this page on Instagram, where in Tamale.
No.
Where is Tamale?
I've not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So has the brain behind that. Okay. I've also been doing a lot of individual work with him concerning this, and also Amina Duduhugu. I've been doing so much with her, even before I got every other person into this. She's one of the first people I spoke to about this, and she's like, "Oh, that's nice." And you know, March being a Heritage Month, it would be nice how you do it in March and all of that. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's do it. And so I would like to give a big ups to them, and also Cake O'Clock, and also Sugar and Spice, Auntie Fatty, and every other person that has been pushing for this to be a success.
How long have you been a chef?
Okay, I'll say I've been a chef all my life because I've always loved the idea of cooking. But then no, that doesn't make you a chef. The fact that you can cook and all of that doesn't make you a chef. So professionally, I've been a chef for roughly 4 years now. After I went to culinary school to get a professional training in the world of culinary arts. That's when I classified to be a chef, and so I've been a chef.
Okay. So for 4 years now, what can you share or say are the challenges with being a chef?
For me, I don't really see much challenge. Okay, maybe one challenge is the fact that you stand for hours to do your things. I don't know. I don't really see much challenge in this because I've always, like I told you, I've always loved the idea of cooking, and I'm always excited to do food. I'm always really excited to be around food and all of that. So I don't really find that much of a challenge, though yes, like the challenges would come. Maybe you have work to do, you have to be up all night to get it done and all of that, but then instead of that being a challenge, I sort of find pleasure in it. So what else? Challenges. I don't see much of a challenge in my profession.
Because it's something you're passionate about. Exactly. That's why you're actually not seeing the challenge like that. But before we started, I heard you say we should make it your moment, but I still want to gossip a bit. What is the support of family like, especially for your husband, knowing that he's in the space, you are in the space, and you're all striving in one way or the other just to bring that change we need in our society. How has it been with both of you?
So my husband actually, I've been talking about this for about a year now, and he keeps telling me, do it. And like the kind of person he is, when he wants to do something, once anything comes to mind, he does it. So he goes like, do it. I'm like, no, we don't just do things. And he's like, we do. So like he keeps pushing me. Sometimes we go like, okay, how about you do this? I'll support with this. I'm like, no, I just think it's overwhelming. It's too much and all of that. It's like, just do it. Start something. Just do it. You can't be hidden all the time, because even first, being a chef, I was just like a private chef. I do private things for people, and I do it on the side because I had a job. I was an administrator with a global firm in Accra. A construction firm in Accra. And he would always tell me that, are you sure you want to be working for someone your entire life? I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I'm okay. I'm comfortable. Like at the end of the month, I get paid
my salary, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. And aside that, once a while when I get like a gig or something, I have to work, I go and do my food thing. And also aside that, when I'm free, I still do my food experimentation and all of that. It's like, okay, you are very happy in this field, so why don't you leave everything and focus on it? I'm like, how about my monthly salary? It's like, it doesn't matter. You have to take up the challenge. Take up the challenge, do it. I'm like, okay, let's do this. So I decided to just quit my job and focus full time on it. And yeah,
does it work for you?
Yeah, it does work for me, because like I'm very excited doing that. Like I'm always very happy doing it. Imagine like I just get up one day, a silly thought comes to my head. Khadija, make a dessert out of agushi and gari and shea butter. I'm like, okay,
let me try.
I just get up, I try, and it works out. Right, like there's some sense of fulfillment that comes with it. That really like gives you this sense of satisfaction. You really feel good. Yeah.
Is there a secret about being a chef you want to share with us?
You have to be resilient. See what Chef Faila did. You have to, because you would stand for hours. You be tested, and sometimes too you might not really, like an artwork, you wouldn't always get things right. Maybe it would be right for the people you want, but then for yourself, you might not always get things right. So being a chef, it's not just about cooking. Yes, though it's about that, but then a whole lot comes into play. You have to be creative. You have to be able to create anything out of nothing, and all of that. Yeah, that makes you stand out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so currently what do you do?
I'm chef, full-time chef.
I just wanted to hear that, to confirm that all we said, we didn't miss out that you are a full-time chef now.
Chef, but I'm working on my cafe.
Okay.
Yes, so very soon you would have a place to dine and relax when you come to Red Clay. Yes. Yes, so I'll be having my first
I'm really
cafe.
anticipating.
Yes, I am
because I felt like it's really a place people go. I just like go take pictures and leave, but they could explore other things or even have fun or make it a hangout area and all that. Though it's a bit far, but I think it's a great initiative.
I'm sorry, I've been the one holding all of you back, because my husband would always go like, no, people come to me, they want to do things in this space, but then I think it's made for you. Just make up your mind and take the opportunity. But I'm always like, I've always been so relaxed about it. But now that I'm in it full time, I just want to grow with it. So that's why I'm not so much in the haste to like, I just want to grow with it, go with the flow and all of that. So yeah, hopefully this summer we'll have the cafe ready.
We can't wait. I hope I'll come for free. Everything is free. We like free.
Now everything is free. Then in the future it's not going to be so.
You're selling me out.
I'm sorry. No, I have to make it known to your audience before they'll come be like, on her podcast, you said you'll be having everything for free. No, you can't call me out. So
okay, for me, not my audience. Please, you are not part of this. Me.
Okay, how about we do this? I give you a discount.
Can you just want to take money from me?
It's not a cool deal.
So yes, we are anticipating fun. We are
Yeah.
anticipating to be educated. We are anticipating to learn more about our indigenous foods and all that. And that is what the Indigenous Food with Chef Dee is all about. So we
Yeah.
take the last bite where you share your socials with us and also give us the time, venue, and all that we need to know.
So
The socials?
the socials are Dine with Chef Dee on Instagram, Dine with Chef Dee on TikTok, and Dine with Chef Dee on Facebook.
So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, just search for @Dine with Chef Dee. Try to follow her and then anticipate to watch some of the scenes we'll have during the Indigenous Foods with Chef Dee. Also the time, venue.
So the time, it's 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. or 1 p.m.
Okay.
And the venue is Red Clay. Yeah. And the date is 2nd March 2024.
Please,
so coming Saturday.
Is it paid for?
No, it's free.
It's free.
Yes, and the food is free. Come and eat.
I was telling you we should do this thing free. You said now it's free.
No.
Later
I
it's
mean,
not free.
for the event it's free. But then
Not even the event. Even when
my
you-
cafe.
You have to do free before. So that would
my cafe, baby girl. Can you go to any restaurant and tell them to give you food for free? Come on.
you know,
pay- no, I'll
we can't-
charge much.
We can't
Very
take pictures
little.
for free. So let's take the coffee too for free. We need to sell you, right? I said this one is you and I. The audience are not part.
Okay.
It's
I said I'll give you a discount,
It's
baby
fine.
girl.
It's nice. It's nice having you.
Thank you
It was
so
really
much.
great. I think you have a great personality.
Thank you.
And to even think of ideas like this, for me, I'm always interested in what we can do as young people. I'm doing this, you are doing that, and I'm sure together, when we hold each other tight, we can do something better for ourselves. People think the future is not going to be bright because of activities we engage in and all that. But with this idea of yours and what I have, I'm sure we'll be able to go a long way to have impact on the society and then the nation at large. I anticipate to see more projects apart from the Indigenous Food with Chef Dee.
Yes, it's supposed to be an annual project. Actually.
Yes, and I'm going to be checking on you till we see that cafe, and I'll test it first, and I'll tell them I didn't pay money for it. It's
Yes,
free.
ma'am.
Thank you.